All right, let's take a look at some stocks and determine, are these stocks worth buying right now? Netflix, Roku, PLTR, SEDG, and KIRK are up today. Introducing the Chart Guys Swing Report, a weekly digital publication that uses technical analysis to identify long-term market opportunities. Understand the market from a swing trade perspective. Follow institutional money as it rotates from sector to sector, and make the most of the Swing Report's weekly trade opportunities, with key entry and exit levels provided. Performance is tracked and updated weekly. For more information, visit us at chartguys.com. Now, let's check out some charts. All right, we're going to start with Netflix on the weekly time frame. I want to get a bearing for what the heck next Netflix is up to on the weekly. We got weekly lower highs, and then you know what? We broke over 557.39, and we have the potential here. Actually, let's zoom out just for fun. Okay, not what I was looking for. We've got a little bit of an expanding range now. The problem is we have these lower highs that we've broken, and we got lower lows. So we have the possibility of getting into a broadening formation. Not something that we want to see necessarily for really healthy long-term growth. So if this is going to be a weekly reversal candlestick, we see a red day tomorrow to close this off into a little bit of a hanging man type candle. A hanging man is where you have a strong attempt and then ultimately you just get pushed down even lower. And the focus is on that bearish close. The fact that the bulls have lost steam from what got them up there in the first place. So that's the psychology behind that type of candlestick. What we'll look for is downside to follow. And if we do see the downside, the question is, are we going to hold above 458.60 or are we going to close below it? If we close below it, it's sort of anyone's guess as to what happens next. But if we hold above, then we will look back to this trend and say, look, we got higher highs, higher lows. Let's see if we can get ourselves a new weekly uptrend and everyone will be happy and Netflix will give us some more shows. If we go to the daily time frame, we're going to take a look and see what is the story behind this candlestick and what can we expect for tomorrow. And that's probably why most of you are here. On the daily time frame, there's that low. We have an overall probably a 4-hour choppy trend. And I see the 4-hour coming into play just because my red and green crystal colors are packed together here with no real trend that I can see in the daily. What's important is we lost this key area of support. Let's go to the 4-hour. 4-hour time frame, there is that trend. It's ugly, but we're getting higher highs, higher lows, respecting EMA 8 of all things, and now we're grinding our EMA 12. If we stretch this out, it starts to look a little bit bear flaggy, doesn't it? A big 4-hour drop into EMA 12 support, a little bit of volatility, but overall, kind of a choppy tightening range. Hourly time frame, 535 seems to be the key level to hold. The low of the day was at 535.10. So that is what it's all about. If we lose 535, we're under our key hourly supports. Our 4-hour time frame doesn't have support until 524. And if we drop all the way to 524, what does that do for us on the daily time frame? Another big red ugly candlestick below our EMA 12 support. And on the weekly time frame, that would be a monster of a reversal candlestick. So it's all about 535 for tomorrow. If bulls can hold that, they're going to be in good shape. Now, the thing here is that we need to get above our hourly resistance. Currently, it's 542.28. I would expect that to evolve over pre-market and after hours. And we have a big wick up here to 551.22. Not sure what the origin of that wick is. Sometimes you can get some pre-market buys. Oh, that's good. Regular market. Sometimes you can get little blips like this guy down here. A blip of 100 shares on Netflix influencing the chart. If you really wanted to, you could change the chart's actual structure by buying a single share at the right opportunity in the right moment and fundamentally shift some perspectives on a chart. Painting it is what we used to call that way back in the day. But on the 4-hour time frame, yes, 551.22 is going to be a key resistance level. Hourly time frame, we're going to look for whatever that level is. So let's say we get up here and then move back a little bit. 546 will be important, whatever that hourly level is, and then 551.22. Other than that, 535 must hold for these bulls. If we break it, we have a lot of potential to hit 524.15. So watch that volume. Another streaming buddy, Roku, on the weekly time frame, currently in a reversal candlestick of its own. This is a nice, beautiful doji. It just shows this indecision, doesn't necessarily represent reversal. What it shows us is that the action that has led to this point is currently just doing this. So the story has fundamentally changed in some capacity. And that is really all we need to know to start making not trade decisions, but to start to analyze things from a little bit of a different perspective. We're not going to be watching for beautiful trend entries on the 4-hour time frame. We're going to be looking for signals that there's going to be a new trend developing. The volume is really weak so far. We got one more day of trading, so probably will flash out to be more or less average for the last few days. Daily time frame, actually, it's going to be about the 4-hour, isn't it? There's that hourly trend with his 4-hour friends. And then what we're going to be looking for is our higher high, and then a lower high under 2040, resistance at 2030.07. If we see a lower high in the 4-hour time frame, I would like to see a break. Ideally, if I was a bear trying to set this up, I would look for a bull break over 230.07, step on the bear gas, crush the price down, close red, and then have this fill out to be a beautiful lower high in the 4-hour time frame, head and shoulders on the 4-hour, and then I would be looking for that really change that weekly doji into a reversal candlestick, maybe even a little bit of a hangman, depending how far down we can go. What is our weekly right now? If we decided to do that, let's see, on the hourly, yeah, it's not too far off. It's that 219.02 level. So yeah, let's see what happens. Look for a break over 230.07. Look for lower high under 240 in the 4-hour time frame, and look for bears to absolutely crush that 219.02 level. If they do that, then we go back to our daily and say, yeah, we need some daily consolidation. We're going to fill this gap, and we're going to look for a higher low somewhere over 176.63. And yes, they have that much room to play with. PLTR, daily time frame, doesn't do a heck of a lot for us because there's just not a lot of data here. Relatively new ticker. So we're still watching for short-term time frames. We just got an EMA 8 on the daily. Still, it's going to be more important that we watch our 4-hour and hourly levels. 4-hour time frame doesn't give us a lot of clarity at this resolution. We can see there's a lot of chop back and forth. We see that overall prevailing trend. So let's go to the hourly. This is what I want to see. Now let's go back. Hourly time, 4-hour time frame just looks clunky. If I go to the hourly, I can automatically see these rounded levels. This is what I want to see develop, and this is how I can draw trends. I can draw a trend up here because we've got my lows and my highs, and look how these candlesticks come into play. We got ourselves a reversal. We got a shooting star candlestick showing us that reversal is a reversal candlestick itself. So in here, there is information that shows us that if we were watching it in the right way, can lead us to a short position. We come down here, we get indecision, a little bit of a dip, back up, another big wick to the downside. You get the idea. So overall, what I'm going to be watching here, what I would be watching here, is going to be a change in this trend. Draw that like that, draw that like that. Correlates pretty well with a lot of this action. We've broken over our trend line. So now, my focus is going to be on the hourly. I'm going to look for 4-hour resistance. I'm going to get rid of that story that I just told you about the hourly trend because it doesn't matter too much anymore. I'm going to be watching here, and then I'm going to be watching probably right there. 4-hour hourly time frame has resistance at 991. We just got above that at 992, so it is still a level to be watching. 15-minute time frame doing its very, very best to defend its low of 977. So if we woke up tomorrow, this would be a relatively easy trade. If bulls break over 991, then they're on fire. They're going to continue to the upside, and we'd look for resistance at 1020. It would be an hourly bull flag at that point, and it would be just beautiful. If we lose 977, then we're just going to be looking for an hourly higher low. Probably not a 4-hour. Yeah, just an hourly higher low. Something over 940 would be just fine for the bulls, and you can look for 5-15-minute trend change in the area of, let's say, 960. That seems reasonable. And when I'm picking up these levels, I'm just correlating what I see in the EMA, and if I was going to draw a chart, you know, hourly higher low, something like that, that would fit the bill for what this has been doing. SEDG. Weekly breakout, also slowing down a little bit on the weekly time frame. Not as much of a slowdown. Ooh, that's nice. Not as much of a slowdown as we've seen on our other names, but this is by far the healthiest consolidation that we've seen. The only real downside is that we lost consecutive higher lows. So the daily time frame has been hitting higher lows all the way up until today. Relatively low volume though. So we go to our 4-hour time frame. We wanted to see if we are in an equilibrium, and we were up until the point where we lost the level, but bulls were not going to give up their attempt. So what we can look for is going to be a lower high under 308. If we lose 308, then I'm just going to be looking for a higher low over top of this guy here, 285. And if we see a lower high, then I'm going to be looking for much more of a significant pullback, because this tells me a couple of things. We've lost our EQ. The bears were not here to capitalize on it. So a lack of bears allows the bull side to move to the upside and attempt a higher high over 308.74. If they're able to do that, the bulls are going to regain that confidence, and then they're likely to continue to try and push on the daily time frame for new highs. Then this would become a beautiful consolidation pattern. It's not a bull flag in the way we would traditionally draw one. It was an EQ, a little bit of a fake out EQ, but we're still going to be looking for a significant bull break after we get over 308.74, and probably more conservatively, we'd be looking for a break over top of 314. If we lose that 285 again, we are going to be looking for downside to follow. But keep in mind, we've consolidated pretty well. We've got a few supports along the way, so we would still just be looking for daily higher lows. And last daily higher low, if you want to call it that, 262.40. Okay, last one, KIRK, weekly time frame. That's nice. Look at that. 358, drop, bulls not giving up. They just want to crush 1358 or overbought again. And if we see some pullback, there's going to be some pretty significant divergence on the RSI. No signs of slowdown yet. So even though we've had price action in this area before, I'm going to be focused on watching my trend changes, and I'm going to try to determine where that real action is taking place. Daily time frame is setting higher lows pretty nicely. 4-hour time frame, this is probably the level to watch. 4-hour higher lows, yeah, it looks that way. Last higher low is 1117. And we're just allowing RSI to cool off before the bulls step it up again. That's the level to watch for me. Right now we're in an hourly bull flag. If we wanted a last gasp of strength, I would look for an hourly bull break into a top fish against 358 into short position. And until we lose 1117, bulls are still in control of KIRK. RSI does not really matter too much at this point. The bulls have been overbought. They don't mind being overbought. And until we start to see weakness, bulls are in complete control. That's it for today. I appreciate you watching. If you guys, I mentioned my other video, there's a few of you who like and just post thanks on every comment or every video. I really appreciate that. It does help a lot. The algorithm that YouTube has responds almost entirely to interaction. So your interactions are very appreciated. Thank you so much.